Atlanta, Georgia, December 1992. 17-year-old Amy Tippins is having difficulty breathing. Suspecting that she has some form of pneumonia, she makes an appointment with her family doctor. But the actual diagnosis she receives is, in a word, shocking.
My senior year in high school, I started developing what I thought was pneumonia, and then when they went in and do some further testing, they realized I didn't have a pneumonia. It was actually a tumor pushing on my diaphragm and making it much harder for me to breathe. And I was in full liver failure. They said she needs to have a transplant or she'll hemorrhage to death.
With time running out, Amy received her new liver and survived. But in the months following her transplant, she found herself exhibiting interests and abilities that were not only new to her, but also surprising.
Not long after surgery, some things about myself and some of my traits had changed. Within a couple years of my transplant, I really started to love projects like replacing flooring on my own. I never saw flooring being put in. I never saw anything like that being done. What I discovered is it was actually fun to work with my hands. Just kind of go, that's interesting.
Of course, it isn't surprising that people who have had life-saving transplant operations often report experiencing a new outlook on life. But new interests? New personality traits? Is it possible that Amy Tippins was getting these from somewhere else?
I knew my donor was a male. I knew he was 47 and that he had been killed in a car wreck in Columbus, Georgia. So I went to the library and I started looking up obituaries for that time. And I kind of backed into his obituary and backed in to figure out who he was. What I discovered is he was a police officer. He was 47 and his name was Mike. His sister told me that he did a lot of his own home renovation. He also liked to work with his hands. He liked to do projects. When I found out who my donor was, it made a lot more sense on why some things about myself and some of my traits had changed after transplant.
Can transplanted organs really contain some part of the donor's identity? Conventional medicine believes the notion is far-fetched. So how do you explain what we just saw? Is our life experience encoded not just in our brain, but throughout our entire body?